When the lights and the television are off, I sit in the humility of incarceration. Here, time does in fact have a beginning and an end, a place where 8 by 12 defines one space. Both pain and agony reside on each face. A place where a piece of mail and a phone call substitute for infinite moments lost. This is the university of a trillion memories, a latrine for ambitions and dreams, a guillotine to the head of each individual's innocence. Here, weak minds become institutionalized. Rehabilitation never shows his face. Maybe he's just locked away in another facility.
But because of the prison ride, I was there for the prison ride, and I haven't been out. And I refuse to be a person that could do something like that with what happened up there. So I decided to learn as much as I could in this prison. So I use this as a kind of like a university.
And so when I came to prison and I saw the programs that are available, I saw that I don't have to be a manual laborer my whole life or flip burgers my whole life. And so I decided I'll use this opportunity to pursue a higher education.
Now that I'm older and, through the gangs to the side and stuff, now I'm concentrating on my education, Either I'm gonna stay here for the rest of my life or I'm gonna get out to the streets and contribute to the community instead of doing all these bad things,
At that time they said, okay, if you go to school, you'll get so much good time for an A, so much for a B, so much for a C. And even though I knew I couldn't do it, I had to try and do it, and I did, and I surprised myself.
Some people do time and serve time, but I looked at it as an opportunity for time to serve me.
I'm thinking about education, and I went in, and everything was there for you. It was up to you whether you're gonna take it and go with it, or if you're just gonna sit on your butt and mope your time away, I guess.
Our inmates come in with reading levels that are extremely low, somewhere around between 2nd and 3rd grade. And so one of the things that you have to do is you have to make sure you send them out with the skills, at least for basic employment.
The more education, whether it's formal or informal education a person has, the more, I say tools. I give my guys tools for their tool belt.
Our overall goal of offering our services and bettering their achievement skills is that when they leave this facility, they will not recidivate, that they will stay out. We've given them tools to stay out.
If there was no programming in the prison system, I basically would have lost hope. I would have stayed naive and uneducated.
O sweet and soulful songstress of all that is innocent, who will sing her a lullaby tonight. Her fairy tale has succumbed once again to the flickering ember of restless night. Their befuddled sighs turn to truculent screams. Austere beauty in eloquent prose, the perfect portrait on static screens. She is salvation. She is the muse of our sorrows. She is elation. She is our purpose for tomorrow.
Motivation in prison, I think, comes from within. You have to dig something out of yourself and find a need for it, a value for it, to see how it's going to benefit you in the long run.
And what we have is kind of a revolving door. So what most inmates are doing is they're doing a life sentence, but on the installment plan. 3 years here, 3 years there, another probation. And I mean, these are disturbing statistics.
People shouldn't say that, oh, hey, they shouldn't fund education because they're prisoners. No, not even. Actually, we need to be sponsored the most. We need to help to get back in society. Yeah, we made a few mistakes. But don't judge us because we made a few mistakes. We need to help to get back in society, the tools to work and either get our own employment, start our own little business.
People who are short-term offenders, under 5 years, certainly benefit from it. This literacy education really for them. For long-term offenders or lifers, people that will not leave, it helps control their behavior quite a bit.
I'm more like the poster child for a messed up person before, you know. Now these last couple of years I've been straightening up and, you know, trying to better myself before I get out there.
I think that the education system is the best thing, and mental health. Those two departments, for me, have been the turning point in my experience, because I needed that. If it don't be for the education department and the mental health department, I don't think that I could have lasted this long in prison.
Inmates who want to participate learn how to get up in the morning, get prepared to come to class, do their work, study hard, learn a work ethic.
Things I took for granted, and I believe people that haven't been in this situation have took for granted so many things. Simple things like opening the refrigerator, getting out of your own bed have become dreams now that I'm striving for, and I want to get home. My kids is my main motivation.
Then the motivation went from getting out earlier to be that I could do something with my life, that I was more than a 10th grade dropout, that I was smarter than I thought I was.
It was almost like a sanctuary from the facility. You know, you could go to school and the environment inside the classroom was good. It was positive, and you could get distracted for a few moments. You know, you could forget you were in prison.
Every night, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. The oxen lamb kept time, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. I played my drum for him, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. I played my best for him, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, ra-pa-pum-pum, ra-pa-pum-pum. Then he smiled at me, pa-ra-pa-pum-pum, me and my drum.
I call it the Mr. Rogers syndrome, because do you want us to come out the same, worse, or better than we came in? And either way, 90% of us are getting out, and we're going to be your neighbor.
I mean, everything was good. It helped me mature a lot, you know, and see that there was alternatives.
Jobs are out there for them. So if they take it serious in here, hopefully it'll carry on to the outside.
If these people have jobs and through education and they're able to find, you know, reasonable work right out of the gate, it'll make it that much easier for them to stay on the street and become ultimately productive members of society.
When a person gets out on parole, if they don't have a support system, it's very hard to keep in a positive way.
The way I see it, you know what, you give that guy a degree, you know what, he starts working the next day, he paroles. Because he got a degree, he knows where to look for a job at. Instead of $25 in a bus pass, what is he going to do with that? And a parole certificate.
called The Touch of the Master's Hand. Forgive me, I got big lips, so a lot of times my words don't come out right. It was battered and scarred, and the auctioneer thought it scarcely worth his while to auction the old violin, but he held it up with a smile. "What am I big at, folks," he cried, "who will start a bidding for me? $1? Only $1? Who will make it $2? $2, who will make it $3? $3 once, $3 twice, going and gone for $3. But no, from a room far back came an old gray-haired man. He picked up the bow and tightened the strings and played a melody as sweet and as pure, as sweet as an angel sings. And when the music ceased with a voice that was quiet and low, "What am I big at, folks?" he cried, and he held it up with the bow. $1,000, who will make it $2? $2,000, who will make it $3? $3,000 once, $3,000 twice, going and gone for $3. And the people cheered, but some of them cried, "We don't quite understand. What changed its worth?" And the old man replied, "'Twas the touch of the master's hand."
Understand that your family wants you out there, and even if you don't have too much family to live for yourself and live for your seeds and the future that you might bring to your family tree after you.
As far as my educational experience in prison, it's worth every penny that the state or federal government spends in prisons to pursue these programs.
And many a man whose life's out of tune, that's been battered and scarred with sin, is often cheap, their thoughtless crowd, much like that old violin. It mess a porridge, a glass of wine, a game, and he travels on. He's going once, he's going twice, he's going and almost gone. But then the master comes, and the foolish crowd can never quite understand the worth of a soul, and their change is wrought by the touch of the master's hand.